Steve Clark, aka the Equalizer, aka the Tranquilizer. How are you doing, sir? What's the crack
How you
with?
doing, Ronan? Thanks for having me on your show.
No, listen,
Having me
listen,
on your
Steve.
platform.
It's a pleasure, mate. It's a pleasure, mate, to have you on. Do you know what I mean? Everybody deserves to have their say. I know it's a bit touchy for you because you feel like maybe you can't go on other people's platforms. Maybe you feel like you're going to be attacked or something. So, listen, you have your say, mate. There's one question I'm going to ask you straight out. Are you Darkbot Secrets?
No, that's something I want to touch on first. I mean, there's a couple of issues I want to bring forward, and then to explain what I've been doing over the past 4 months. No, I'm not affiliated, associated, communicating with, or anything to do with Darkbox Secrets or any other channel on the YouTube platform. That was one of the three issues that I would like to air today with you, Ronan.
Right. Why? Why
Back in
can you?
back
Why?
in December, and when I shut down my channel, I made a promise to somebody that I wasn't going to be back on the YouTube platform. I've had my reasons, and I've stuck to my promise to one of my fellow mates in life. I've stuck to that promise that I promised him I will not be back on the YouTube platform, which now brings me to my second issue that I'd like to put out there to the public. Since December, I've had no affiliation, no association, no communication, or any of the likes or aboves or belows with Decareggi. I'm not affiliated with that. I'm not affiliated with any character, person, or individual on YouTube. I mean, the only person I've really kept in contact with was yourself, Ronan. Since December, I've had a lot going on in my life, and I took a lot of criticism for backing Decker. And the one thing
We'll
I'd like to
just
put
we'll
out there,
just change the names. We'll
there
change the
now.
names to Dickie. We'll just change the names to Dickie for now, just in case there's any defamation cases or anything like that.
I mean, I'm not associated with any trouble, worry, threat, or the likes. I've been carrying on with my life, my real life. My wife's been really, really ill just lately. And that was another reason why I never really wanted to come back onto YouTube. It's too much bitter. There's too much negativity is what I found.
Yeah, so there's a few questions I want to ask, right? Obviously, we've kept in contact, and it's been hard to see you from the sidelines because I'll just explain sort of how I got in contact with you.
Mm.
Whenever I first came on the YouTube, I've told that whole story to do with Dickie anyway, right? But I got in contact with you, and sort of midway through that, I said to you in text messages, "Look, listen, mate, it's possible there's something to this here. Look, I've just found out the full. This is looking a wee bit dodgy here. You need to sort of take a step back from this and just let's see how this plays out because nobody knows what the fuck's going on here."
Mm.
Um, and you did take my word on that, I believe, but then it seems sort of, what was your involvement in that whole scenario to do with Dickie? Were you setting up troll accounts for him? Like people have sort of pointed the finger. Were
No,
you, you know,
I
pay,
was
was
just
he paying you money?
no, Ronan. I was just one individual. That back in the time, I had seen one person getting a heck of a lot of a hassle. Now, in my world, in my life, I'm a loyal person, and basically, I'd seen this one individual getting attacked constantly. I took it upon myself, to try and help and to defend this person.
Mm.
And the stuff that I was hearing and seeing that he was being accused of. Incidentally, for the people out there saying show my ACRO, there's two people in the YouTube world that has access to my full unedited ACRO. Ronan being one of them. And there's another person that's in the chat has also had access to my full unedited ACRO. So I'd
Can
like
I
to
explain that?
like to
Can I,
state that.
can I explain that? Can I
Yeah.
explain that? Just to jump in there. Sorry to interrupt you.
See,
So
if we go back, Ronan, I don't know
yeah,
if you remember.
yeah. So let me
I
scrape it
was
back a
the
bit.
first one that brought up to you
Right.
um,
So it was 2 hours.
about Dickie showing the ACRO.
2 hours before the podcast, I couldn't remember who showed me the acro, right? Because I've got a head on me like a sieve. But 2 hours before the sort of the podcast with Dickie, somebody contacted me. It was you, Steve, and says, "Listen, I'm just telling you now. If you can't get an enhanced DBS, what you can get is an acro." But what you said to me was a subject access request, I do believe, but I was that much of an idiot that I just seen the acro, and we just talked about the acro. So I just came on talking about the acro, not thinking that there was two types. There was the one that you pay for, and that's the one you can go abroad with, and then there's the one that shows the allegations, which is the subject access request. What you showed me was a subject access request, but when I went on screen, I said acro, right? And this is where the whole acro thing came from, right? Now, what I should have said is a subject access request, and that's the one that you showed me. So you were the one to give me the idea. 2 hours before that podcast, I realized I researched nothing. I looked into nothing because I don't know, my head was up my hole, right? Never do that again. But one thing that you brought to the table and you gave to me was the acro. You showed me yours, you sent me pictures, and you said, this is what an acro looks like. This is what a subject access request acro looks like. And then that's when I said to him, listen, you don't have to do an enhanced DBS, you can do an acro.
So I did mention to Decker back then that that's what he needed to produce.
He said, sorry to just to interrupt there. He said that was the first time he's heard of it.
He did personally say to me that he was going to show it.
He said that to me too.
But
did you say to him subject access request?
I haven't seen exactly the same as what mine is. I mean, you see mine, Ronan, and there's one other person in the chat that's also had the same access as what you've had to that. And I've done that for numerous reasons. I mean, it was to include you, because I'm not sure back then if you knew what an acro was or even what one looked like.
Didn't have a clue.
So I could have shown you any piece of paper, you know, and said to you that was an acro, and you would believe me for that. Mine was exactly the same as Steve Rave's and all the rest of them. You know, you get your front page and then you get all your garbage.
And you listen, you were a naughty boy. You were a naughty boy, but you weren't a naughty boy. You weren't a naughty boy that way though. You weren't like nothing to do with women and kids, but you did have a bit of a past to do with stupid shit.
I mean, as you can see, there's no sexual, there's no anything in that category whatsoever.
No.
There's a couple of naughty things that are down there.
Yeah.
You know, that many people might think, nah, not him, he don't look the type, but everyone's got a past and they've done things that they regret. But we'll save that for another day. So getting back to my point, I'd seen this one individual that was getting permanently and constantly attacked on YouTube. So I decided then, you know, to try and help the person on YouTube to overcome whatever issues it was that the other individuals on YouTube was attacking him for. But I mean, it got to the point where I was being targeted. You know, my friends were being targeted because I was sticking up for this individual.
Yeah.
All my friends were being targeted. My family was being targeted. So,
can you elaborate on the extent of that? Can you elaborate on the extent of how much you were being targeted, though?
I mean, what they were doing, there was two individuals, a pair of individuals, and a third one. They'd obviously had access to my Facebook, and they were scrolling down my Facebook, maybe going back as far as 5 years. And anyone and everyone from my hometown to my mates, they were sending messages to anyone that they could contact off of my Facebook, sending them private messages. Do you know that Steve's sticking up for a paedophile? Do you know Steve's sticking up for a rapist, a paedophile? And they were sending this sort of material to everyone that was on my Facebook that they could possibly message, that was associated with me, close to me. Now, there was a certain group of friends of mine that pulled me to the side, and they had some very stern words for me as an individual. Things got very heated. Things got very nasty. I mean, that's all I'm prepared to say on that. Now, in December, like I said, I made a promise to one of my good friends that I wasn't ever going to get back involved in any arguing, fighting, dispute on YouTube. I also stated I was going to delete my account and I wasn't going to come back onto the YouTube platform. Now, that promise I've kept. Right. Now, to the second point, Darkbot Secrets and any other associated account on Facebook which is attacking certain individuals I'm not associated with, affiliated with, or communicate with. In fact, I haven't got a YouTube channel at the moment. I may well decide to open one, and come back on. But mainly I wanted to state where I sit from at the moment. I've had 4 months out of this YouTube negativity to concentrate on my family first and foremost. And that's exactly what I've done since December.
What's your view on Dickie now?
I haven't had time to think about any of this. I mean, but off the top of my mind, I'm not getting involved in any more drama, hatred. I mean, I don't even hate the likes of a couple of individuals that are still constantly attacking me to this day, accusing me of being behind Darkbot Secrets, being behind a few other accounts. How do I know this? Well, my phone's been blown off the hook since December. Since I've come off YouTube, my phone's blown off the hook. I'm getting phone calls, screenshots. This person's saying this one's accusing you of that. This is
but it's
part
not, Steve.
why I needed to come on to speak to you,
Steve. But it's not controversial. Look, it's not controversial to say, right? Because I think I'm the least controversial one out of everybody that's been involved with this character, right? But this is me speaking. This is me saying this, right? Forget about everybody else. Forget about what people are going to say to you or fake accounts and all that bollocks, right? Just YouTube. It's not real, right? So it's not controversial to say that when you ask a man, and the deal is, you show the subject access request ACRO, the one with the allegations and the convictions, and that man says behind the scenes, I'm going to do that, and then that man doesn't do that. It's not controversial to say that man has got something to hide. Now, whether or not those things are true or not, that's not up for me to decide. I'm not a judge. I'm not a jury, right? So don't ever be afraid to come out and say, look, that was the deal. That person didn't honor that deal, so then there must be something to that. You're not putting yourself in any firing line. You're not putting yourself in
I mean, Ronan, my mind's been completely off that. But personally speaking, if I had nothing to hide, if I put myself in the shoes of somebody like that, that's being accused of these things, sure as hell, the first thing I'd want to do is clear my name totally and unconditionally. So I would have put the ACRO on the table from day one.
You did? Sure you showed me it?
I would have put the full one from top to bottom, unedited for people to see. That's the only way possible, for me to clear my name if I was sat in Dickie's shoes.
Can I say this?
What I don't understand, Ronan, is why he hasn't done that.
Can I say this? And people need to realize this, right? So behind the scenes, here's a bit of an exclusive for everybody, right? Behind the scenes at that moment, leading up to those moments, right? Nobody knew the truth. I still don't know the truth, right? But I know that there's deception, right? But back then, whenever I was speaking to you about certain things, I was honest with you. I says, look, there could be something to this. This person is being deceptive. There's manipulation definitely going on here. And I think there's heavy manipulation going on your end, right? I could see it. I could just see it. But what people didn't realize is behind the scenes, you were actually giving me good information, like the ACRO, the subject access request. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to bring that to the table. If it wasn't for you, okay, it might have came out anyway, but it led to a sort of a pressure to be applied on this guy to sort of to tell the truth.
I mean, personally, I can't keep a friend like that in my life.
Yeah.
Now, I've just seen a quick question in the comments then. Am I neutral or what's the... Yeah. I'm just one individual now. I've carried on living my life as I always have done. I mean, I've tried my best to help someone, but they're not willing to help themselves. Now, I've got no choice. I'll choose my words carefully here. If you want to say I'm neutral, I'm neutral. I don't hate this, I don't hate that. But what I do hate is being used as a pawn in a game. My world and my life is worth a king. A king's movement's not a pawn.
Well, one thing I can say, I remember, right, and this is one thing that stood out in my head. I remember whenever this certain individual got out of jail, right, and this person was sitting in their kitchen, and this person was praising everybody else. Now, should have been praising me because I was completely out of the game by then. I knew what was going on. I figured out, but you were still sort of not trying to help him, but you were, you still had hope that this person was going to show the subject access request. And he never credited you, he never helped you. He threw a lot of people under the bus, like was it Crime Scene NA, Gary Crime Scene? He threw him under the bus. He got him to do dirty work that sort of compromised him. It's like, do you know what I mean?
To be honest with you, Ronan, so much as I don't like sex offenders myself, as the rest of the half of the world, I can categorically, whatever the word is, categorically. I can honestly say he'd never once asked me to do this or to do that.
Yeah.
I'd never made any phone calls to anyone.
There's somebody wants to come on here and ask a question. If this person's going to be nasty or mean, he'll be coming off. But if he wants to just ask a question, 100%. So I'm going to bring this person on, okay? Hello.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Have you got a question?
Yeah, I have actually. I just wanted to ask Steve why he felt it necessary to go in so hard on people when he was defending Dickie. There was a lot of real personal stuff flying around, and I think personally it was quite unnecessary.
I mean, back in the day, I mean, I'd just seen an individual getting attacked, right? And when I first started seeking to find out what the hell was going on, I was being personally attacked and targeted from day one just because I was trying to help to clear Decker's name. There was a lot of stuff that was aimed at me, my family, right, and my friends. Even still to just before December. And in December, I made a promise. That A, I'm not getting involved in any of this crap no more. B, I'm going to come off YouTube. and see I'm going to get on with my life. Well, back in the day when it all first started, because people had seen that I was sticking up for somebody that they counted as a wrong 'un, and I was probably the only one in the world, that was willing to try and help this guy.
Yeah.
They personally started getting targeting me from day one. The first thing that they tried to find out is who I was. Then when they realised who I was, and they started sending nasty messages to my family and to my very, very close friends. Now that's when I might have stepped it up a gear from my side, because my life was then permanently being targeted.
Yeah.
As to why every action has a reaction.
Yeah.
So their action towards me encountered me to give that reaction.
Yeah.
That
But
that wasn't no way controlled by Dickie or any other person. That was what I chose to defend myself with, because
yeah.
of being attacked.
Yeah. But considering the people involved, did you think that you were going to get such a bad reaction? The people involved
To be honest with you, no.
aren't going to forget. They're going to remember for a long time, and they're going to keep bringing it up, even though you're not involved and you haven't been for a while. Whether you're involved with editing and stuff behind the scenes, I don't know, but the guys involved aren't going to forget that quickly.
I mean, neither am I for half of the stuff that they've targeted my family and my friends. I mean, I'm not going to forget that for a long while. Maybe that's my own fault for getting involved in trying to defend the undefendable.
Yeah.
But I mean, whichever way that they look at it, I mean, tit for tat will never work in life.
Yeah.
And maybe that's exactly what I've done.
Can I just jump in there for 2 seconds? Did you ever attack anybody with adware?
With what? I'm not computer literate, so I wouldn't have.
I think it's malicious sort of I don't know, like adware, like you get some sort of.
I'm not computer literate, so
yeah. No, I sort of guessed that just a question popped up there, Stan.
When it comes to logging me on and stuff, I'll get my missus to do that. I mean, that's how tech savvy I am.
Yeah.
I know nothing about this computer world, other than turning on a PC or a phone. So no, I'll have to say definite no to that one.
Yeah.
No, I've said in the past that when I first clocked onto all this, I believed Dickie for about a week, and then
who are you?
My name's Ian. I'm Outdoor Thing on YouTube.
Right, yeah. Bloody hell.
But when I twigged onto it, I believed Dickie's side.
When
and then
did you start following?
It's got to be probably a year ago. And I sort of came to it through Paddy Conroy's channel and watching bare knuckle stuff and fight stuff, and it was all associated links under videos that I was watching, really, and true crime podcasts, because of course you get recommendations underneath.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Bobby last Thursday, I think it was, and after sort of watching it for a couple of weeks and then interacting and watching a couple of different channels, the evidence just got so overwhelming. I only had one way of thinking, to be honest.
In my instance from that, I mean, as soon as my ACRO came through, I just done mine out of curiosity.
Yeah.
I sent one copy to Ronan, right, and there's somebody else in the chat. I'm not going to mention who, but they've also received the same copy. And back at that moment, which probably would have been October-ish, something like that, behind the scenes, I did talk to Dickie.
Yeah.
I said, get it put up.
Yeah.
I can't do more defending than what I've done unless you start giving a bit. I mean, you can help somebody so far, but then that person then has to help themselves.
Yeah.
And it was just at that point then that I realised, this is getting serious now.
So it's Kelsey says that just as I say before Steve came on, I says, listen, answer every question, because if you can't, this is what needs to be done, just to answer every question so everybody gets, there's clarity then. And once there's clarity, then nobody can attack you, basically. So Kelsey says, it was the attacks on victims and accusers that upset people. We all got fooled to some extent, but didn't join in with all that. It got really horrible. Would you agree with sort of that you tried to discredit any accusers or whatnot?
See, it was mainly the accusers of Decker that when I got to defend supporting Decker, it was the accusers mainly that was targeting me then. Now, I didn't like that at all. And the way that maybe I treated one or two other people in my return, maybe I should have stepped back at that moment, and take a big breather.
Once you're involved, it's hard. It's hard to step back.
When you're born into it, but then when the evidence weren't forthcoming, i.e., numerous times we had asked for an ACRO.
Can we talk about the messages you've been receiving, Steve, or not, or no? No. Well, even just not even the context of the messages, but you've been contacted with very strange messages, and you feel like it's a target on yourself again. Whether it's Dickie or whether it's somebody trying to set you up, but people are definitely targeting you for something, either for gain or failure.
I mean, even till December, I mean, they tried to obliterate my name as a person, north, south, east, and west of my hometown, including people that I've known in my life for 20 odd years. Now, when they started targeting them so deeply, there was an incident recently, but I'm not going to go into any of them details. But to the extent, people that had known me for 20 odd years, right, these individuals were constantly, oh yeah, he's still online, he's still supporting Decker, he's supporting a pedo, that must make him a pedo lover himself, and down to the point where I had groups of people knocking on my door. And that's when I realised,
do you want to elaborate on that, Steve? Because I think
anybody wants to come and tap on my door, as this group found out, it could have got very, very nasty. And this is the extent of the involvement that I was receiving just by sticking up for somebody. Again, that's why I haven't been on. I made a promise.
Like, what I'm going to say is, for instance, you could say that I stuck up for him, right? But I never tried to sort of discredit it. I might have called Anthony Burkett a dickhead. I might have called somebody else this, that, and the other, right? But I never sort of tried to discredit. Do you think that the hate that you're getting is down to maybe the manipulation? You trying to discredit people?
I did try and discredit a few people.
Yeah.
Because to me, they are discreditable.
Yeah.
You can't have dirt on your hands and chuck mud. Make sure you got a clean record or a clean life before. See, if I say to you, I agree with the common denominator, but I disagree with the way that they're going about things. Now, I want as much as probably anybody else, Dickie, right? If he's guilty, he's got to be held accountable for it. There's legal ways to go down this path. At the moment, from what I've seen with these people trying to get Decker into that position where he can be arrested and can be charged, they're going about it the wrong way. You don't advertise victims online. There's groups and associations that will help them victims, right? Get to the level where somebody can get charged.
But this is where it's tricky, Steve, right? This is where it's tricky. That's not going to happen now, right? So there's
they've basically mucked up.
Right.
years worth
This is the truth.
by bringing it all online.
This is the truth. There's the fantasist way that this is all going to get resolved, right? And then there's the reality that there's so much shit that's been put online that it's that if there is any case to that, well, there is a case to this, then it's not going to happen because there's been so much disinformation mixed in with correct information, and this is what the problem is. But do you feel that maybe in some way you played a little tiny part in that disinformation?
I don't understand that I have. I mean, I have tried and discredited the people that were, you know, firing.
Like I would say I did, because I can say, well, hold on, I was in that situation. I went on that man's channel, and in turn, I went on my channel and give disinformation on my channel about a subject that I had no clue about. Whenever I should have listened to other people. So
maybe once or twice I did. Yeah, maybe that's something I can.
The difference there, Ronan, is you interviewed him in good faith, and you didn't discredit anybody premeditated. It was, during an interview or after, when people were having shots at you. Whereas there has been a lot of disinformation to muddy the waters about Dickie and about the people who are trying to take Dickie down, and I think it's going to get to the point where something is going to happen with Dickie that's so serious that he's going to need a full psychological and psychiatrist evaluation, because I think it probably will get to the point where someone's going to end up seriously hurt, whether it be a victim or it comes to a head with other podcasters and other YouTubers, where they end up bumping into each other or arrange to meet. And you know what it's like when you get a few burly guys together, it could kick off at any moment. It's it's becoming quite, it's coming to a crescendo, and it's becoming quite a very hostile situation.
I think what people want to know is, anybody that was affiliated with Dickie, do they have remorse for backing him? I think that's the question. Do you have, like, I have a lot of remorse for the fact that I could have caused hurt to some people. I could have hurt anybody in any way that maybe was a victim of some type of thing. Would you say that you have remorse for the people that you didn't believe?
I have a bit of remorse. I have a bit of regret for defending him to the extent that I did.
Yeah.
You can only help somebody so far, and then they need to help themselves before they get another leg up from the person that's helping them. Maybe I could have stepped back at a more earlier time, away from all of this. So yeah, there is remorse from my side for backing him.
That's manipulation, Steve. This is you. I've seen plenty of and I'm going to say this. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but there's been plenty of times when me and you chatted in that time, and you wanted to step away, and you felt like you couldn't step away, and I was telling you, Steve, you need to step away from this here, because regardless of what the truth is, there's going to be a fall guy here, and it's not going to be it's not going to be Dickie. He's not going to be the fall guy here, and you have to take it in the chin and just move forward and say, look, this is what I've done. It was manipulated. It was used. I was conned. This person didn't tell the truth. And regardless about the people trying to take them down and their sticky pasts, right? At the end of the day, one person was asked to show something. The deal was to show it. That person didn't show it. So there must be something to it. And that's it.
I mean, from December, I walked away from the whole thing. I couldn't put any more of my time into backing somebody that was unbackable. My wife's really ill, and like I say, I've spent the last 4 months taking care of my family, and that's what I should have been doing instead of backing Decker.
Yeah, I've got to give you props for coming on with Ronan. It's brave for you to come on and answer these questions from Ronan. But on the flip side of that, you did dig yourself a big hole, and it was always going to take a little while for you to dig yourself out. I think sort of cutting it off dead rather than cutting back and slowing back on it and then disappearing, I think probably did you good than just absolutely cutting it dead. That's it, done, channel's gone. Because I think, you know, taking it slowly has probably done you some favours because, you know, props for you for coming on and, yeah, it's brave. It's brave to come on and
Everybody
answer questions.
the thing about it is everybody handles the situation differently, right? For me, I have to hit it head on straight away. I can't walk away from it, right? With Steve, you had to take a couple of months because your wife's ill. And that's the thing people didn't realize, that your wife is very, very ill, right? With a serious health condition.
You know, that's what people couldn't understand. You know, why weren't I spending more time with my terminally ill wife than coming on and defending somebody like Dickie?
Yeah.
You know, maybe I should have. You know, my wife knows that, you know, I love her fully, and she knows that I'm 1,000,000% behind her. If she went tomorrow, I wouldn't know what the hell I would do. And just some people couldn't I couldn't understand, and people couldn't understand why I weren't spending time with her as opposed to defending Dickie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for that, maybe I'm guilty.
You see, you're still getting.
I will never do that again to anybody, be it a friend or be it a foe on YouTube or anywhere in my real life or outside YouTube. I will not do that again.
You see,
so
there's a lot.
I have taken back and learned a big lesson. You know, from helping somebody. You know, I just wish I could take back some time, you know, and reverse that. And instead of arguing and defending for somebody,
It was the same, Steve. It was the same with Gary Glitter's granddad, that guy with the big fucking beard, and you know the bald guy who was making excuses for him, and then he just went straight off YouTube. Do you know what I mean? You know the guy who I'm on about. You know, Gary. Yes, yeah, that guy, right?
Prick, that one.
Yeah,
some of the stuff. This is what I'm trying to say. Some of the stuff, the people. This is what I'm trying to say. The people that defended him to the hilt got the backlash worse than what he got it. This is what I'm saying.
But the thing is, Ronan, like half of them that had dirt on their hands. I mean, you can only chuck mud if your hands are clean. I mean, you've seen my ACRO from top to bottom, left to right.
Yeah, I've got it.
And I'm in no way a character anywhere close, you know, to some of these people on YouTube. But on saying that, if you're going to bring down Decker, right, it has to be done the correct way. Has to be done by law. It cannot be done victimizing victims. Parading them around YouTube is not going to help the situation. Taking them to the law station is the way forward. You can't have money around and then claim to be a child protection team.
So here's a good one. Carrie King says, Carrie King said, Steve Clark, how about just a sorry? Just a plain, just old sorry. Do you feel sorry for being, like, I'm sorry for being in that situation. I'm sorry for not listening to the people.
I do. I apologize and I'm sincerely sorry for my involvement and for being involved for so long, for so deep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Carrie King, with your question, yeah, you know, I am apologetic and I am sincerely sorry. But don't that just prove what sort of character person I am? I didn't even know Dickie. You know,
that's it. You're not the only.
That's my loyalty coming forward. But in this instance, I used it in the wrong manner, with helping the wrong person, obviously. So yeah, I do apologise, and I am sorry for anything that I've said or done.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
At the
Steve,
moment, I'm neutral. I'm not getting back involved in any arguments on YouTube. All those that hated me probably hated me for a reason,
Steve,
and I'm not going to argue or fight back at them because I am
Steve,
apologetic and I
Steve.
do apologise.
Just to say, the humble somebody called the humble dryer twos just came on, and at the bottom wants to come on. Would you be okay with, if that's the humble dryer? Would you be okay for that person to come on?
For me, I've got nothing. I've got nothing to say to anybody else, and it's only because of the given recent situation is why I'm not prepared to do. I'm prepared to sit here and listen to Ian. You know, he's come up with some very valid points.
But this
Uh,
could be your opportunity to
like,
hit that head on.
as far as humble dryer is, I mean, you know, there's ongoing things, and I'm not prepared to get into
Okay.
a blistering row with anybody. That's not my
Okay.
intention.
Okay.
My intention is to come on, clear the air, let people know how and where I sit at the moment. You know, and that I do apologise. You know, for defending someone who was undefendable.
Yeah. Well, it took you a while to realize that, and reflection. The thing, hindsight's a wonderful thing when you look back. You know, I think that was the real humble there. But listen, at the end of the day, you know, if you wanted to speak the humble, you could have came on. And there's a person coming on here. It's not the humble dryer though. Maybe if he's
I mean,
just
I want to keep tonight positive, and that'll just go back down that negative route.
Yeah. So what we'll do is, right, I think you've answered everything. I'm going to just, if anybody's got any more questions, ask them now in the live chat, and Steve will answer them. But just to reflect on that, as I say, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I think it was how much the man manipulated you into, even though he didn't actively say do this, do that, and do this, but in other words, he might have knew what way to play you.
He doesn't need to manipulate in so many words because it's in his mannerisms. It's part of his MO. And Steve's come out and said what he has. But how many other people have actually come out on video and said, "Yeah, I was taken in by him"?
Not too many.
Hook, line, and sinker. That, you know, 3 or 4 people have come forward and said, you know, I believed him, but you know, Dickie is a manipulator. So
that's it. That's all you can. That's all you can say there. Like, there's not much more you can say. You know, everybody fall under the manipulation spell. But not everybody, but a few people did. But some people were sort of taken in more than others. But at the end of the day, you've admitted to the things that you've done. You've apologized for the things that you've said. You've apologized for sort of backing this person when he didn't back you. Because at the end of the day, people don't realize that the deal was you were to back him, and he was to show his subject access request, and he didn't. So he didn't back you. So the only unloyal person here was him. He was unloyal to you for not proving his innocence for you, for his supporters, for the people that. And I understand people will turn around and say, "But he did show the ACRO. He showed that one." No, that's not the subject access request. That's not.
That's I showed a little bit of my full enhanced DBS on Bobby's show the other night. So I worked as a care assistant for 27 years. And I showed the size of the document, the embossed paper it's on, but I also showed on the back that where it said that I wasn't barred from working with children and I wasn't barred from working with vulnerable adults. And there's another section underneath which says any special recommendations from the chief constable. Now I've got some convictions on there. Late 80s through early 90s for various things, but on the full enhanced DBS, in the section where it says any special discretions by the chief constable, they can say, or the chief constable can say, yes, there is so many amount of NFAs for certain offences. So even a full enhanced DBS, which anybody can get for themselves, or get a friend who's owns a business to say they're thinking about employing you to get one, and even that would say if there was, it wouldn't say what the NFAs were, but there's a discretionary from the chief constable. So I would say that that's probably better than an ACRO. Not the full ACRO, if it, obviously, because it's got all the NFAs on it, but a full enhanced DBS will tell you if there's NFAs of any significant charge.
But the thing about it was, when I was looking into the DBS, the enhanced DBS, I had to prove that it was going to be around children or vulnerable people within 30
Yeah.
days. You were able to do that though, but that's why
Yeah.
the subject access request is gold, because you can show the same without having to sort of justify why you need it. You can just get it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I think that's, as I say, look, I'm going to just state this here. I asked Steve, did he want to speak to Humble? He said no. So, I would have no problem with Humble coming on here and having a conversation with Steve. Humble said that he would just have a conversation with you. But at the end of the day, if you're uncomfortable with that, Steve, it's up to yourself. You don't have to if you don't want to, but the offer is there from Humble.
I'll drop out if you want to have a one-on-one.
No, you're fine.
Keep it civil, isn't there?
Keep it civil. But if you don't want to, Steve, it's up to yourself. Just to know.
I don't know. I don't want to get into a free for all, because that just won't go down right. And all these people want is drama to be cavitated from it. So I'd rather keep things positive rather than negative. That can happen another time. That could be a part 2, Ronan.
Yeah, but listen,
it's your channel. It's your channel. It's your platform.
But I don't want any of my guests feeling intimidated or feeling like they can't say certain things. What I would say is, fuck the part 2s and part 3s, right? That's what Dickie does, right? That's what he drags shit out, right? Let's hit it head on. My advice is, let's hit this head on and let's get everything out in the open. So then
it's better out than in.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. As not for drama. There's going to be no drama. If you want, whenever you speak, I will sort of I'll put I'll censor Humble, and whenever Humble speaks, I'll censor you. So then both of you get your words across when there's no sort of crossing over. Then, if you want me to do that, I'll drop the link. As I say, there's going to be no arguing, no fighting. Just talk. Just speak like two adults. That's it.
Right.
So
we're going for a quick break. So it's up to you, Ronan. I'm going to go and have a quick smoke, and then I'll be back.
Yeah, no problem. There's motorsports and buggies. Big up. Well, Humble,
big up motorsports and his deer.
he's mad crack, like. But like this is what I'm saying. Look, he's saying I'm too angry right now. But listen, I understand maybe there's anger, there's frustration, but let's try to keep it civil and just talk. And whenever people talk, you get to the bottom of things. Do you know what I mean? There's no point being. What's your channel, by the way?
Mine?
Yeah.
Outdoor thing. It's just outdoor content, really. I've not had a bit of a beef. Darkbot Secrets took a bit of offence to a comment I left on one of his videos the other day.
Right.
So he had a little look at my channel and whatnot.
We'll go over and subscribe to Outdoor thing. I didn't know you were coming on. I would have put the link for your channel in the.
No, that's fine. I just thought I'd pop on. I've been hopping around watching everyone's lives tonight and catching up on stuff.
Yeah. Did the video create go on Paddy?
Go on, man, now.
No. Paddy wasn't on StreamYard. It was sort of arranged on Tony Burkett's live last night. They asked Craig if he'd go and do a sort of clear the air interview. with
Yeah.
Paddy and that, and there was a bit of banter in the chat, and Tony guaranteed Craig's safety, and
Well, that's
they
the thing.
they sort of arranged something, but I don't think it'll happen, to be honest.
But that's what StreamYard's for. That's the beauty of StreamYard. You can speak to
Yeah.
people. You don't have to be in their company. Even if it was just that. And I think Video Craig would probably go on and just let Paddy say whatever he needs to say, and then he would have to say. He seems like
that's what I put in the comments. I put StreamYard it, whoever's StreamYard, because they can both use the content. And then it's neutral ground. Then it's there's no sort of because Paddy and that. Yeah, I like Paddy. I like it. I think he's funny.
I like all
but
of
he
them.
could be quite
Paddy's
intimidating in his presence, because of his reputation, and he's a big fella, and
yeah. No, but he is. Listen, he's well known over here too. Like everybody knows who Paddy is. Like he's just. I listen to Paddy. Sometimes you just be sitting there at 7:00. Paddy drops a video, you watch it, and it's just. It's the thing about it is, he makes sense with a lot of stuff that he says, and you watch it, and you leave one of his videos with actually a bit of substance. You think, fuck, have I learned something here tonight?
Yeah.
It's he's a bit of crack. Like I like watching Paddy. Like I didn't like the time when he said it was funny. He says that he goes, because I put up a picture I photoshopped a picture of me and Sean Atwood, and I said, Happy Christmas, Sean Atwood, and he thought it was real. He thought this was a real picture of me and Sean Atwood, and he was like, oh, he's in a conspiracy with Sean Atwood to make Decca look good or Dickie look good, and I was like, no, that was a fake, Paddy. That was a fake. That was, you know what I mean? Like, so listen, it's looking like the humble isn't or humble dryer #2 isn't coming on. He says he was too angry. I've posted the link there a few times. I think it would be best for him to come on to get out whatever he needs to say, so then it's not stewing and you aren't talking over comments or you aren't hating each other. Get it all out in the open. Fucking put it to one side and put it to bed tonight, so you don't have to even interact with each other ever again. Do you know what I mean?
I think it'd probably be for the best, because it's going to clear the air for both parties. But if John's angry,
there's Maria.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Mira.
Hiya. I don't know if you know of me, but obviously I've been around a while watching things, and the way you was. Sorry?
Is that Maria H?
Maria Howarth, yeah. The way you was to the victims was disgusting from a woman's point of view. And it's outrageous that you could even believe that they're telling lies. As a victim myself, not of Decareggy, of course, it's just disgusting.
Well, for that I apologise sincerely, not just words. It was probably to the point that back then I was maybe believing, that this was all made up, and but I've had time away to concentrate on my life. As for speaking now, I do apologise because obviously in this instance, I mean, there is victims. There is people that have been put through things that maybe they should never have even seen in their world or in their life. And the only one thing I could really do, Maria, is to apologise for my reactions. That's not me as a person. Looking at it now, I'm myself not involved in any of it. I want to stick onto my neutral path. It's given me time to think, along with caring for my wife, and I wouldn't like it if she, in her past, had ever gone through anything that any female in this instance involving Dickie, they should never go through stuff like that. I mean, this world should be full of love and not to one individual's actions would create misery in that person's world. I can only apologise, Maria.
Yeah, because he is a very dangerous man. I don't, you know, and he is. You can just see it from his conviction sheet. All the harassment charges, all them are on females. Do you know what I mean? He's a very, very dangerous person, and you just helped him along, really. So you must understand why everyone's so angry with you. Because, do you know what I mean? You was defending him and helping him be the dickhead, sorry for swearing, Rowan, that he is.
I mean,
and that's why John is obviously angry.
I wouldn't wish any female on this earth, you know, to go through anything like that whatsoever from anybody. You know, it's disgusting behaviour. And like I say, if that was my daughter or my wife,
exactly, and the man got an affair, would you be defending him and say, "Oh, he didn't do it"? Then you wouldn't, would you? You'd be well angry with him.
I mean, Maria, you've got to understand it from my point of view a little tiny bit.
Go on, then.
From the way that I'm seeing things being done by certain individuals to try and bring Decker to justice. The points of going.
Fucking hell!
I mean, that's the wrong way to go about it. That was from the point of view that I was seeing at that point. You know, I had it in my thick mind that that it was a total setup.
Sorry, I can knock myself off.
Like I say, you know,
no
female in this earth or land, right, should ever have to go through something like that. I mean, it's harrowing, you know, to say the least. And like I say, if that was my wife,
Steve, can I just jump in there? I think Maria thought that she was off there, but she wasn't. I've muted everybody, so it's just people can have their say. Maria, you weren't kicked off there. You people could hear you. You didn't kick yourself off. So if you want to jump back on, I'll put that link back in the chat. There's just a couple of people here with questions. I'll go to the Jock here first. Let me just go down, and I'll get to Billy. Billy, I'll get to you after. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you out. So I'm just going to unmute Jock here. Jock, what's the crack, son?
All right, mate. How you doing?
Keeping well. Any questions?
Steve, why did you share all that advert between each other and try to ruin me? And why did you diss people that are, let's say, survivors of trauma? It's very wrong. And if you need all your videos back, mate, I've got every single one of them. I can give them all back. The one you made on the Equalizer channel. If you need them back, I'll give them back, pal.
Ronnie, can you repeat that? Sorry, Jock, I can't hear you.
I think he says that he. So hold on, just let me just sort out the audio here. So I think basically what he's saying is that, why did you target sort of the victims and the accusers? It's sort of the same sort of questions that Maria asked. I think you've covered that though, haven't you, Steve?
I mean, yeah. You know, from the people that was involved with trying to, you know, attack Decker at that time, I was looking at it back then as a one-track mind being in the circle, you know. So I felt the people that was involved in attacking Decker at the time, I thought were just out and out set him up. I mean, now I've been out of it and been away and concentrating on my own world and my own life since I made the promise to someone in December. I mean, I don't wish any female to go through anything like that in life. None of them should.
Steve,
there's probably no man on earth that should ever treat a woman like that.
Steve,
you know, from the bottom of my heart, I apologise for all that.
Steve and Sojak, listen, Sojak, I'm just going to have to mute you because Billy has a question. There's a load of people sitting on the studio down below, so I'm not being ignorant, Sojak. But you're welcome on my channel anytime, mate. I'm just going to mute you here. Have you any more questions?
Yes, I do.
Well, can I mute you and then just let Billy ask the question, because he's
Yes,
been
mate, of course.
Okay, I'll be back with you in two seconds. And Maria, listen, you weren't kicked off the last time. You're sitting
No, it
there.
was me. I know. Go on, carry on.
Okay, so I'm gonna have Billy have his say here. Billy,
It's okay. Let Jack have his other question if he wants. I was just feeling sorry for Steve for having his own opinion. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you have your say.
yeah,
Billy.
no, I just felt sorry for Steve. Do you know what I mean? Because he had his opinion a decade at the first, and I don't know. I felt on his. I was thinking what he was thinking. There's nothing there in black and white, or what I've not seen really. What is that bad? I don't know. So
Do you still feel that way now?
Well, I've not really seen. I was trying to speak to Humble Dry yesterday, but to try and get some more evidence, but
have
to
you
no
heard
avail.
the telephone call to his mum?
Mum, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Doesn't that say it all for you, no?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it'll look bad and all that. It would look bad, but it'll look bad for what? It could look bad if people are trying to get witnesses out of the closet, what are not really there. It could look bad. Do you know what I mean? What's it really done? I don't know. He's not raped nobody. He's not killed no one. I don't know.
You know,
I'm not being no. Can I just say this though? I'm not being a dicky supporter because I'm not. Yeah. I was more being a supporter at first, and the longer I'm like on the fence, not on the fence, but I'm getting more on the fence. If you know what I mean, like or off the fence on the other side. But I've still got a little bit where I don't know. He's not done nothing to where he's not. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Unless someone tells me different.
The only thing I can advise anybody is to do their own clothes law, because then you'll get the answer. And I can't speak about what's on that because I'll have the police at the door, because you're not allowed to. Once you're told it, you're not allowed to talk about it. But me personally, you might not know, but I'm a paedophile hunter, and I'm not about to go and tell lies, because obviously I have to be a credible witness in court all the time and everything. But trust me, the clothes law isn't good, and I'm not going to lie about it. And the only thing I can advise people is to go and get their own clothes law done on whoever, anybody, not just him, anyone that you feel's dodgy, and then you'll find out for yourself.
But if he's that bad, is there nothing going to come out and like get him arrested? Because if he's done out something bad, then he deserves to be arrested. I'm not here trying to support anyone.
The reason a lot of them have been NFA'd is because he's harassed them and threatened them, and that's why in the end he's just been done with harassment and threats, because they've been too scared to carry it on. And plus CPS these days, do you know only 2% of rape cases, sorry for saying that on here,
I know,
go to court.
But they don't get,
Yeah, they don't get past
They always
CPS.
get blamed. I know, But on the same dice, on the same roll of the dice, there's a lot of people crying rape that don't get raped on the same roll of the dice. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry about that, but there is. Well, I'm not sorry, because there is a lot of people that cry rape and they don't get raped.
I get that, but do you really believe that 4 women who don't know each other up and down the UK who've all come out with the similar story, all lied about him?
No, when you put it like that, but then on the roll of the dice again, there's people out to get him, and they're coming out with exactly the same story. Do you know what I mean?
But
so I
there
don't
was
know.
in a relationship. Yeah, but they didn't know him. They all didn't know each other at the time.
I know, yeah, but there's always like a flip of the
They've
coin.
only met each other now because it's all come out.
Obviously,
none of them knew each other at the time.
So what we're going to do is here, we're going to agree to disagree in this one, because I understand. Listen, and that's a good, healthy conversation, because what you're saying is you're not saying, look, it's not true, but at the same time, as the common man, you want a bit more
solid proof. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I understand that. So I'm going to go back to Sojak here, because
sorry.
Listen, don't say sorry. It's just the way the question. I don't want to leave anybody's question. First off, the Matrix on PC asked, could I ask what exactly was that made you change your mind? Please answer. And that's Steve. He's asked that question about 6 times now, and I
know it's. I've just been waiting to answer that one. I mean, I think it was the targeting of my very close friends. And when they brought it direct to my face, I'm talking about friends of like 20 odd years. They were all getting targeted. I think when it got to that point, and my very close friends then brought it right to my attention, I think that's when it changed my mind 100,000,000%. You know, that I was wrong for backing Decker.
So, Jack, you're on. So, Jack.
Yeah, mate.
You're on. You can have your say. I've unmuted you there.
Oh, thanks very much, mate. I think you can hear me.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Sweet, bro. Hi, Steve. How you doing? Remember all those videos that you posted up? Yes.
On my channel, yeah.
I have every single one of them.
So John, what's your first name, just so that I know?
So.
John.
So.
So.
Yes, sir.
That's your first name?
Yes.
Okay, cheers.
What? Anymore, I have all your videos, yeah? I'm wanting to give you them back. I've got all the chat logs. I've got every single chat log, every single slanderous comment you've made, and I'm wanting to give them back. Or, if you can be honest with the people here tonight, then I'll delete them, okay? That's between you and I. And you know you've been a naughty boy there, you know what I mean? No offence. You know you slandered. You know you've misconstrued things. You know that you didn't run Clare's Law. You know that you've not got any close contact with Decker, but you do it on the fly in the background. And it's easy, mate. You know what I mean? We can see it for what it is. All we're asking you today is don't create a channel on the back of something that you've not got any validation for. That's me finished.
Can you repeat that? So it was a bit lower.
So he basically said that he has every chat log, he has every video that you've ever posted in defense of Dickie, and he's willing to delete that if you're willing to be totally 100% honest.
Well, that's what I'm here for. You know, I'm here to clear
So,
the air.
Yeah, would you agree that he's been honest tonight, so Jack?
Well, no, because initially he said that he was not in IT trained. He went to Telford College, didn't he, Stephen?
So, can you
He said,
that to me, Ronan?
He says, did you go to? He says you said that you're not IT trained, but he's saying that you went to a college, a tech college.
No, I am literally thick as two planks when it comes to computering. You know, that's the truth.
Interesting.
I've never done a college course on anything to do with IT or computing in my life.
And you've never been to a university or anything like that?
No, never been. I've never been intelligent enough to go to university.
Right,
the most valuable course I ever done was at a technical college, and that was for my SIA badge. I've never done computing. I've never done IT whatsoever. So I'll make that clear to you now.
Right. So all your whole channel then was built on lies. The last one.
Can you say that again, Jock?
All your last channel was built on lies because you were explaining that you were a tech savvy genius.
I was on my previous channel that I took down. I was just basically copy and pasting the videos of what I had seen in and around YouTube. I hadn't edited or anything personally myself because I ain't got to do that.
Yeah, you did actually have a personal attack at me, and I'm an independent investigator, and I'm an ex-para, and the things that you say about yourself, I respect you, but I'd still have wee doubts about what you're talking about. You know what I mean? No offence.
Ronan, can you repeat what you just said for me, please?
He said he respects you, but he still has wee doubts about yourself because he's seen certain things that you've said.
John?
He said basically, was your last channel based on lies?
Basically, it was just to try and help Decker in the situation where he was having so many different people of dodgy backgrounds attacking him and targeting him.
So inadvertently,
I just decided to pick and choose what
But
videos
listen,
that I found in and
but
around.
you can answer that. You can answer that. The truth of that is inadvertently yes, because at the end of the day, when you sort of answered that anyway. Because if you've got a channel and you're backing a guy like I did, I done it. This isn't a hate Steve club right now. I done it. I'll put myself in the firing line, and there's plenty of questions people can ask me, and I'll be willing to get the shit ripped out of me for that. But inadvertently yes, because your channel was back in DECA, so the answer to that question would be yes, it was based on some lies because
We've seen master deflection there, eh?
Do you know what I mean? And to a certain degree, at some stage, my channel done that. So this isn't just. I don't think anybody's trying to hate on you. They're just saying they're trying to get to the truth. Do you know what I mean? And nothing but the truth, because once this podcast is over and done with, there's going to be the relief, the weight off your shoulders will go off this. Do you know what I mean? So yes, listen, Jack, I'm going to have to mute. Do you want any more questions? Because Humble's came on. I think he's got a couple of questions.
Let John talk, because John knows more about this than I do.
Okay.
Steve, it was based on lies because you hadn't done your own research.
Right, so Jack, peace. I'm just going to mute you here, okay?
Peace, mate.
Peace. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everybody else, including myself, and Humble will have his say, and Steve will have his say. Okay, but please, guys, try to keep it mature so everybody can get their say. Okay.
Steve, what channels you got now?
I've got no channel since December. I made a promise to someone.
Shropshire Crime.
No, that's nothing to do with me whatsoever.
Okay.
I haven't had a YouTube channel since December.
Who's Shropshire Crime? It was opened the same night that Craig and Kyle Pugh were in a chat, exact same time. You try to frame Kyle Pugh, who's unfortunately now dead under a murder investigation.
You was targeting him, John.
I was friends with the boy.
Messages.
You
were sending messages to Kyle, trying to target my friends that you found on Facebook.
Your friends is the people I got all the information on you offer.
Yeah, exactly.
You have no friends.
Everybody on my Facebook. And
you have no friends, Steve.
Sent everybody on my Facebook a message stating that I'm backing a paedophile.
Who's the Ellie Fagan profile?
No idea.
You're a liar. It was made up the exact same IP address as you. Kyle Pugh sent me the pictures after Kyle Pugh blocked you, and you asked if something was still for sale on the Shropshire page. I can show you right now, but I don't want to embarrass you any more than you're going to get now. Ellie Fagan was a profile you made up to get at a man who gave you
targeted messages.
Humble, just let him answer.
You sent messages to saying that I was backing the convicted paedophile.
I thought you didn't know who it was.
I've just said to you, you targeted everybody on my Facebook.
Who's
friends,
everybody?
Family. Right?
What was the very first message you sent, Steve?
Asking them why they know me, to get information about me.
Yeah, that's right.
And to tell them that I'm backing a convicted paedophile.
That's right. No, so convicted sexual predator.
Take it upon yourself to troll my life and send messages out to people that you don't even know.
You sent me a message. Steve Rafe, John,
what makes you in your mind,
name but a few, calling us child rapists.
Everybody that you trolled for 5 years down my Facebook wall. Why?
You sent me, Steve Rafe, John, and a couple else. The first very message you sent, what did you send, Steve?
Answer my question. I said to you, why did you target all my friends and family?
You've not got any friends.
So that makes you a troll, because you trolled
You've not got any friends.
Right. All my family and friends are message.
Right, can I just say this? Right, right. There's two massive questions there. There's two massive questions. Right? So one, right, the first question is, Steve, your question would be why you believe that Humble has targeted your friends and family on the Facebook page. And Humble, what was your question again?
The first message I got from Steve, the same as Steve Rafe and John and a couple, was, you child rapist.
Right. Did you send that, Steve?
Yes, he's already admitted it.
Right. So you sent that. Just be honest. You sent it. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was because of what somebody had told me.
That was an introduction from him. That was
Right.
his approach.
Right. Okay. Now you're honest about that. Now, whatever do you feel guilt for that? Do you feel remorse for that? Are you sorry for sending that message?
Yeah, I probably feel remorse now for sending that message because now I know it not to be true.
Okay.
Now, John, you answer my question because you trolled my whole family, all my friends. You sent messages to them saying I'm backing a convicted rapist.
You're
Right,
asking me a question.
Need,
You're asking me a
right,
question,
to
right?
contact every single person on my Facebook and send that same message.
I asked people after you contacted my family, Steve. You stole a picture of somebody's Instagram and you put it up on your YouTube channel. Steve, don't shake your head. I can prove it right now. I don't want to embarrass you.
You answer my question, right? You targeted my friends and family way before any of that.
How would I even know your friends and family?
When I sent you that message on Facebook, right, on behalf of somebody else, and I didn't look into do the due diligence on the truth of that comment that I put, you started targeting my friends and my family.
Name them.
No, you can't deny it. I want to
Name
know
them.
why you targeted over 25
your alleged
people.
friends speak to me more than they speak to you.
And my friends on Facebook. Right?
How do you think I've got a picture when you put ice cream up on the counter for 35 pence for a cone?
I answered your question, you answer mine.
You put out a date cornetos on the counter of a shop for 30 pence. True or false?
You answer my question. I'm answering nothing more to
True or false? How would I know that?
Start giving me some answers to questions I've got for you.
Right. So listen. Right. So did you go through the Steve's Facebook list and go for his family?
I contacted an ex-girlfriend of his. She was very helpful. I contacted Craig. I contacted Kyle. Who else?
Well, actually, you contacted that girl to see if he was vulnerable.
We contacted the girl to see if he was vulnerable.
And that's something we can prove.
Then I blocked that one, his profile. I then got message from Ellie Fagan profile, which is his, and I can prove it. Kyle proved that. Thank you, Kyle. So what he did, he put screenshots up on a video saying that I was messaging a 14-year-old girl. The girl, it's his profile. He was messaging from it.
So you haven't answered my question why you felt the need to target my family and my friends. Why?
Where did I target your family and friends?
So that proves that you're a fucking wrong'un in your mind for contacting my family and my friends.
Anybody that sends a first message to anybody saying you child rapist.
So if anybody sends you a message, right, that says to me that you're going to go round about their Facebook and troll all
fucking bet your fucking bottom dollar I will.
Is that correct?
You bet your bottom dollar I will.
So you're admitting to being a total and utter troll?
No, I'm admitting to fucking finding out everything about you, including the kicking you got off Matt Taylor for his sister. Including the other fucking young girls you fucking mooch
my
about.
Friends and my family, right? And you had
I know more about you than I do about fucking Decker Heggie.
Messages to any one of them and keep Kyle's name out your fucking mouth.
You're getting fucking. You're going to be getting questioned for that, ain't you? You know that as well.
Right.
He took pictures off Kyle's Facebook, right? Me and Kyle he took him off and put it up. Kyle phoned him when I was in the loudspeaker to Kyle and heard him. Kyle was saying, fucking give it a bye, Steve, and you were stuttering down the phone like a fucking budgie.
You've been giving grief out to people, my friends and my family.
You've not got any friends.
What does that make you, John?
You've no friends.
For the world, exactly what John
Shropshire crime is you.
Troll.
You contacted Decker last week on his page, you're a fucking liar.
Your friends, to destroy your family and your friends.
Can we find common ground between you two guys so you don't even have to be in contact with each other?
He knows. He's contacted people he thought was related to us. Now give a fucking police statement about the fucking idiot. That's how many people in Scotland that's contacted. The police actually drove 20 fucking miles to take a statement over a messenger message.
From day dot, you targeted my friends and family. You
Listen,
targeted
stupid. Don't
with
put yourself in the
advocacy.
fucking shooting line. It's as simple as
But,
that. Don't
right, look,
come defending a
Steve,
sexual
Steve,
predator.
Steve,
John, I've got nothing more to say to you.
right,
No,
okay,
you'll
that's it.
get
Nothing
plenty to
whatsoever.
say.
That's it, guys. That's it. Look,
You want
Steve,
to target my friends and family?
you
That's
admitted
down
You've
to
to
the
not
you.
got
messages,
friends.
But I've got my life outside YouTube.
Steve,
You've not got
Steve,
friends.
You haven't.
Steve, you've
You've no
admitted to the
friends.
messages, and Humble has admitted to doing certain things too. That's it. That's what you came here for, and that's it. If whatever beef you have with each other in regards to other stuff,
It's because he knows what channels I know he's got. That's the
Okay.
thing. He knows that. I'm all
No,
over you.
you
Last
targeted.
week you were targeting
You
Donna.
targeted my friends
And as soon
my
as me and
family.
Anthony fell out, you
You
then started
targeted my
targeting
friends and
under
my
Shropshire
family.
crime.
That proves exactly what sort of a person that you are.
Listen,
I've got
you
a
don't
life
get away
outside
with doing
you,
that
you
shit to
haven't.
us and victim shaming people and think you can just come on and say sorry. You caused a lot of fucking damage, didn't you?
So have you. So have you, with you targeting and
Name
trolling my friends and my family.
You've not
God
got
knows
friends.
who else you ever targeted.
You've not
on
got
here and
friends.
round about the YouTube
You're a prolific
community.
liar.
You're just a computer freak. That's all you are.
You're a
You want to
prolific
control and
liar.
manipulate
would you
people
not say? Would
by
you not say?
sending and
Hold
targeting
on,
my
sorry,
friends and
sorry,
family.
sorry,
Who
Steve.
said he was
Steve,
going to go
would
to
you not
police
say
when he
that
said he
Steve?
got 30
would-
grand in his head? You're not
That I
worth
will
30
never.
quid.
Would you not say that Steve
I
has
will never
been
forgive
honest
you for
tonight?
targeting my
A little
friends and
bit.
my
No,
family.
he's
That's
no,
all
he's
I've
been
got
nowhere
saying
near
with it.
honest, Ronan. Nowhere near honest.
Okay.
Nowhere near it.
And what do you feel that he needs to do for total clarity for
Well, he's
everybody?
went about it the wrong way tonight. He thinks he can send a message like, you child rapist, right? And then just go away and then start creating false news saying that I've done 4 years. He made up a false news article, said I'd done 4 years for child rape in a jail in Manchester. True or false? True or false?
Got nothing more to say to you, John, for targeting my
True
friends.
or
and family.
false?
You're just a weirdo. You're sick in the head, mate.
True or false?
None of your business. I'm not answering your questions.
Because you're a liar.
I haven't answered it, so how can I be a liar, you fool?
Because failing to do it is
All
your
you
fucking
can do
lie.
go on a computer
You know you're
and
lying.
target people. That's
You
all
don't like
can
the
do,
fact
target
that
friends
Kyle
and
and all these
family
boys
and
don't
people.
like you because you're a fucking idiot. Excuse my French, Ronan.
You're the
Sorry for
idiot.
swearing your channel,
You're
but
the
that's an
idiot, John.
idiot.
I've got nothing more to say to
You
you.
target women. You're a fucking coward.
Bye-bye. You're the one that
Coward.
targets friends and family.
Coward.
Not
Right,
me.
Liar.
guys.
Bye-bye.
What we're going to do here is, all right, I'm going to have a word with Steve. Does anybody want anything else to say? Has anybody got anything else to say?
Oh, I've only started with him. Honestly, I've only started with him.
Do you think though, Humble, okay, you've got your things that you want to say to Steve, and you've got your sort of, you think you've got in your mind, you've got this evidence, you've got all these things that you want to say, but
Yeah, the Facebook profiles he made up, exact same IP address as his. He knows it. He knows because Kyle sent me stuff.
Ronan, no,
When
I
Kyle
wasn't
blocked
being
you.
paid by Ronan. I wasn't being paid by Dickie, no.
okay.
You
Okay.
told Ronan at first, when you first appeared in Ronan, you said this had been going on for 14 years. Where did you get that from? Where did you get that from, Steve? I'm curious in where you got that from. And then you said you fucking came across this idiot, meaning me 3 years ago. It's not possible.
No, it's not, because I haven't been around for 3 years.
Well, why
so
did you say
that
it then in
answers your
Ronan's?
question for you.
Why did you say it that night in Ronan's
Why
then?
did you target my friends and family?
You've not got any friends.
Why did you target my friends and family?
Name your
Why?
friends.
Don't that make you weird for having to
Name your
contact
friends.
innocent people? Contacting innocent people that you don't
Has
even
any
know.
of your alleged friends gave any police statements about harassing about me? No.
So
I
why
can't
did
say
you
the
target
fucking
my
same
friends
about
and
you,
family? Is that
unfortunately.
all that you know, John?
My
Is that all-
stepmother's a
is
top
that all that you do?
psychiatrist
Target
in a
people that are
mental
innocent?
home.
You
And
target
he
innocent
tried
people,
to,
don't you?
he tries
You
to,
target innocent people over a computer system. Why?
listen, you victim shame people along with Decker. Don't fucking try and smother that up, okay?
Why do you find it a need and necessary, right?
Because there's too
target
many
people
fucking
who
idiots
don't
like
even know
you
that
going
it's
about fucking picking in victims who's scared.
innocent people.
And then you
Right,
think
you
you can just come on
target.
to Ronan and say, sorry, Ronan.
Anyway,
Sorry, guys.
it's
And
tonight's
still
evidence
lie.
is proved beyond reasonable doubt that
You're a
totally
liar.
wrong.
Could you guys just not even just contact each other again, and that would be it? That would be the best thing. Just
But
forget each other's
this is
existence.
the thing. His alleged friends have told me he doesn't know where to stop.
You shouldn't be targeting people.
Right, Steve. All right,
All
here's
right, mate,
one.
until
Are you
somebody
gonna,
gets seriously hurt, Steve, and then what you got to do? What you got to do then? If somebody gets seriously hurt, what are you going to do then?
Trolled across the internet.
What you got to do? Do you think you can carry on doing that stuff and nobody ever gets hurt? Of course they do. That's life.
Trolling innocent people across the internet.
Name them.
And you think that you're someone special.
Name them. We've already been here where you're a prolific liar. You know it. I know it. And so does everybody else in this chat. And I can't even see the chat.
Whatever's went on in the past, are you going to do any of that again, Steve? I don't think you will.
You can't even admit to having fucking Shropshire. Who's Simon that promised you the page at Christmas? Who's that? That's another name you flung.
That's nothing to do with you. You ain't answered my question.
I thought you never had another page.
Family, friends, and innocent people to the extent. Why? You fool.
He got a biker's jacket and thought he was in the fucking Lost Boys Hotel for just a roaster. He's an absolute rocket.
What a troll that he is. He trolled through my friends and my family.
You're the troll, mate.
You're the troll.
Right.
When it gets hot, you come on, think you can say sorry, lie your way through it.
No. You don't even know him to say.
I'm taking this disc to the police. You put £30,000. You're not worth £30, mate. You're not worth £30. £30,000. You think you're a fucking professional or something?
Targeting people on the internet. Is that all you can do? Troll them to the extent of innocent people.
And I come across people like you, yeah.
Exactly. I rest my case, Your Honour.
Yeah.
He's a total troll.
Right, so,
be wary of John.
You fucking better believe it.
Moving forward. Moving forward.
You've been put to the side now, Steve, because you weren't relevant. But trust me, you'll never be forgotten about it.
On that a troll.
Steve,
he ain't got a life outside YouTube.
Moving forward, Steve, right? None of all that stuff that's happened in the past, you're not going to do that again. Humble. If he
said he's doing it last night, Ronan. Not me, he's targeting Anthony Burkett now because me and Anthony's fell out. He's targeting Anthony now. Don't get involved between me and Anthony. Mine and Anthony's fight. Fuck all to do with you.
I made a promise.
Don't try and get me on your side.
I made a promise in December that I won't going to be on YouTube, and I have not been on YouTube, you fool.
Your fucking fingerprints like your spelling. You can't help it.
You're a fool, you are, John. You've just exposed yourself for being the biggest troll in the world.
Listen, mate, I'm not the one that's on your fucking boyfriends, young girls, fucking big brothers batting about the street.
At least I've got a life outside YouTube. I took 4 months out to care
when you're spending 24/7, when your missus was meant to be fucking serious low, where was her time? Where was her time?
Target innocent people.
Where was her time?
Target innocent people. You carry on, Mush.
You're not innocent.
You targeting innocent people.
Name them.
You are.
You can't.
Steve, you was targeting victims. So,
yeah.
You know.
Targeting girls with learning difficulties and everything. What you got to say about that? And you're going on about friends that you've not got.
You were targeting innocent people.
Name them.
I don't have to name people on it.
You can't.
They weren't really targeted now, was they, Steve? They was contacted for info, which they gave.
Targeting innocent people.
He just doesn't want me to pull one of his ex-girlfriends on and tell the fucking truth about him and how you beat the fucking girl about.
Exactly my point.
You're
right?
scumbag.
Innocent people, victims of females. That's who you can contact, John.
You're a scumbag. And the boys have got a motorbike day in Telford. We'll come down and give you a wee shot.
Whatever. I'll see you at the 3D Fight Club if you want.
You fucking couldn't get to 3D. I'd need to put you in a taxi to get you there. Don't even fucking try and insult me that way because you're just making a bigger fool of yourself. Liar.
Stop talking.
I think people have had. Listen,
liar.
Everybody.
Let it go, Ronan. He digs a hole. He can't name a friend because he's not got any.
Look. I think what needed to be said is said.
You're a cross-dresser, Steve, are you?
That's your mum.
Is that your problem? Because you think I've not got a problem with this cross-dressing or the rest. I don't have a problem with that.
You target innocent people. That's what you do. That's your job.
Steve, you've said this 10,000 times now. Move on.
He can't, Maria, because he's blocked at that part there because he can't go over it because he's lying.
No, because he won't answer it. Genuinely, why?
I've answered it. I've told you you've not got any friends. And you can't name the other innocent people that are targeted because it simply didn't happen.
You
Ellie
named
Fagan.
John, are you thick or stupid? You named
Ellie.
them. You named some of them yourself about 5 minutes ago.
Well, Ellie Fagan's you. So if that's one of your friends, your imaginary bubble friends, I'm sorry, Ellie Fagan. Does that make you feel better?
Why are you using a female account anyway?
Because
Steve?
he's kidding on. He's a paedophile hunter, Maria. Remember I was telling you about the investigation that's going on just now? He's in it. You notice, well, Steve, how many people have you targeted with that Ellie Fagan profile?
Johnny, you're just a fool, mate. Just shut your mouth. I'm not talking anymore.
Can I ask you a question, Steve?
Of course, you're not shutting up.
Steve, can I ask you a question? Are you actively on other social media platforms and YouTube?
I'm on. I've got my one Facebook account, and I haven't got no YouTube channels.
Okay. Well, that's all. Like,
I'll send you them, Ronan. You can do a wee bit of thing. You'll see the exact same IP address as his.
That's all.
Okay. Okay. Well, listen. Can we?
So they're joke, isn't it?
So, Jock, you can listen. Humble, is that? Do you feel like that you've had your say?
Yeah, mate. We're not going to get anywhere. He's a prolific liar. He's still in trying to contact Deca. Just last week, I think, maybe the other night there, I got a screenshot of you messaging them.
3 nights ago.
Okay, so I'm going to jump out now, Steve. See if you can find the truth somewhere in between them and your imaginary friends and your fake fucking profiles. Thank you for having us on, Ronan.
No problem.
Much obliged. Thanks, Jock. Thanks, mate, up the top right-hand side. Sorry, mate. It's a bad introduction tonight, but it is what it is.
Okay, right. See you.
Okay,
right. I think I just have to elaborate on that, Steve, right? Look, if there is any other social media platforms that you've got other accounts on, just get rid of them, mate. There's no... I don't know the truth. I don't know your truth. I don't know Humble's truth. I don't know Dickie's truth. But what I would suggest is none of this is worth it. Do you know what I mean? None of it's worth it at all. Now, I'm not saying you do, because I don't know the truth. But if I was giving myself advice, I would say, fuck that. Get out of that shit. Do you know what I mean? Because there is redemption, mate. There's redemption. You've came on, you've told truths tonight. You've said you're sorry. You've apologized. That means something. Do you know what I mean? I'm not coming from the standpoint of wanting you to feel depressed or bullied or whatnot. That's why I asked you, did you want Humble on? Now, I didn't realize the level of information he was coming on with, and I don't know if that's factual information. But listen, there's redemption in the truth and saying and holding your hands up and saying, look,
delete them all, Steve.
I don't know if you have anything to delete. That's the thing. But if there is, just do it. Just delete it.
Delete them, mate. It's your best thing to do, mate.
Like I said, I've got one Facebook account, that's mine, and I haven't got a YouTube channel.
Right. So
okay.
That's not a problem then, is it? So
that's no problem then. That's it. That's it.
I've been lied to tonight twice by Steve, so basically I can't say there's any honesty. So him coming back to YouTube and saying, oh, I'm innocent. He's no innocent, mate. He actually, I've got a Photoshop, I'm looking at it now, and it's calling a lassie a £30 a night whore, who is not a £30 a night whore, and he shouldn't have been doing that because he doesn't know who the person is. Simple. And that's you, Steve Clark, that done that. I've got the screenshot, pal, for the equaliser.
Well, I've apologised for the situation that I was in defending Deca, you know, and I think that some things I've done was wrong. You know, I should have never defended somebody in that mannerism at all.
Can you give me a moment to actually get the screenshot of what it says exactly, so that I can tell you exactly who you're slandering, who you slandered, and you owe an apology publicly?
I've apologised for all things that...
this is a personal apology.
I've apologised for things that I've done. You know, I shouldn't have carried myself in that respect while defending Deca or supporting Deca. You know, like I say, my attitude's totally changed now.
Yeah.
No way, shape, or form will I be defending anybody whatsoever.
After hearing John, you've still got some way to dig yourself out of the hole you're in, because there's a few people that are going to be as angry as John. I'm surprised that they haven't come on, I dare say. But you've still got a way to go to, redeem yourselves in a lot of people's eyes by the seams of it. Because I think John Humble has got a good following, and they're probably all going to be thinking the same.
Well, like I say, I can only do and say, my apologies if people accept it.
Are you sorry?
If they don't accept it, then I don't know much more I can be or to say that I was in the wrong for defending Decker in the instance and the way that I did. I should have taken more care with how I went about defending him because of victims in the world of this sort of abuse, which is totally fucking wrong. No man on earth should ever put all female through any sort of stuff that they have been through, because women are the superior breed on the earth. I mean, they born us our children, so that makes them a special. No female on earth should ever have to go through anything like that in their life whatsoever.
Okay, right. Can I ask this question now that I've got the screenshot sitting next to me? Can I ask the question now that I have the screenshot sitting next to me, Steve?
I think I've answered everything, Jock, but yeah, if you've got another question, then fire away.
You have an apology to a person called AJ because you called her a £30 a night whore.
Like I said, I've apologised. I'm not making.
No, wait a minute. Don't butt in. That's
Jock, I'm not going to make individual apologies. I mean, I'm going to make it.
You must
apologies as a whole for the way that I've treated people or whatever I've said or whatever I've done.
You can't do all in a one clean sweep.
I'm not going to do individual apologies.
I'm asking for one.
Well, I'm not prepared to do individual apologies. I've apologised. I've apologised as a whole, and it's from my heart. I've meant it. I'm not going to give individual apologies.
I think you're good, Steve. I think the AJ side Jock's on about it's probably in the chat because she's around all these lives and that. So
how dare he call that lady that?
Yeah, that's not nice.
AJ is a lovely lady.
During the process, and I do not stick up for anyone that's been accused of any sort of actions against females' wishes or wills. They're wrong. People should never do that. I apologise for whatever I've said to people. For the way
apologise to AJ, Steve. It'll go a long way.
Apologise to AJ. It'll help you a little bit, Steve.
It won't help until I've made a full apology to anyone and everyone. I'm not making a million apologies because I feel I don't need to. I need to address the situation that I know what I've said or done is wrong.
You've made some progress tonight. You've made some progress tonight with even just coming on with Ronan.
Yes.
So I don't see how it's apologising to AJ is going to hurt in any way. It's not going to dent your pride or anything.
I apologise individually to people.
You're here to clear some air.
If I offend you, Mr. Clark, I'll say sorry to you, yes. So that's that. You've been apologised to officially, right? And if you slander a woman online and everybody is worried about that woman and you don't publicly apologise to that individual, then you're just putting it all in the same box, and that's very childish of you, sir.
You can't put me on the spot like that. I've made an apology. I've realised my actions were wrong in defending somebody. I've made a public apology to each and every person, right, that I've ever said anything or done anything against. So I understand what I've said and the past is wrong.
Hello.
So you won't apologise to AJ, fella, eh?
Hello.
I've apologised to everybody, Jock. I don't think I need to apologise.
What are people apologising for?
Individually to people, because I've apologised as a whole for the people to see. So I don't see why I should need to do an individual apology.
Certain people,
This is as a collective, not as an individual.
one person that you
What are
stand in
people
that-
apologising for?
What's he apologising for? Did you ask Tony?
I'm asking you.
You're asking me what? I can't hear you.
What? Well, if the host stops unmuting me and muting me.
He's been asked to apologise because he victimised victims of rape. That's why he's been asked to apologise.
Right, well, I'm a victim. I had a child to my own dad. I was put under the stairs. And if you're on about Decker, then he's a wrong one.
Well,
No.
just change names, Tracy, just in case there's any.
We're talking about that human being.
Well,
names or
I'm
anything.
sorry, but he is.
Yeah, just call him Dickie. Just call him Dickie.
Well, whatever. Prick
Please.
face.
I mean, I'm not doubting you for one moment, because
You know, you can look at one and you know.
no man should ever
And
do anything to a female that
all
they
these
Tracy.
ACRO shit. All
Hold
these
on.
ACRO shit. And he's saying he slapped a bird's ass. No, he didn't. Because he went in and he asked her if she wanted to have sex. He's
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to dress it down. He was going to have sex with her because he was coked on his head.
Dickie's a sexual deviant, simple.
I mean, no man should ever carry themselves like that.
At the end
Never
of the
in a
day,
million
I
years.
was. My mum died when I was 3. My dad couldn't bear to look at me. It's my birthday today, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks. I've just got in, so
Many
I'm a
more.
bit knackered.
Okay,
It's been a busy day, but yeah. I just wanted to jump on and say, you know what? That's why I'm single today, because I don't trust men. I hate men. I hate them because,
Bastard.
well, when it's bred inside you, you don't trust them. You don't. I don't care what anybody tells you, what therapy you have. You don't trust them. They're always going to cheat. They're always going to beat you. They're always going to manipulate you. They're always going to look down on you because you are the damaged. You are damaged. So you're easy grooming.
Steve Clark's been slagging and stuff, you know.
So I'd rather stay single and keep my dignity,
This way,
because now I can speak up for myself. At 3 years old, when my mum died, and when I was 5 and I was put underneath the stairs, there was 10 boys, and I was only allowed out to feed them, deal with them, and then I had to go back under the stairs. My dad sold me from 5 till I was 14 years old because he was an alcoholic.
You need to talk about it here, pal.
Because he was an alcoholic, and I had to stand there while they were all knocking one out, and he'd have a group session, and they all paid my dad money. Do you know what? The men are fucking despicable.
Some are,
And
yeah.
I'm not talking about you guys on here. I'm saying what is inbred in you, it's in you. And you are damaged. You are always going to be damaged. You're never going to have that fairy tale. You're never going to have that wedding dress. You're never, ever going to get married because you are a broken soul. You are broken. And
Yes.
I'm just a survivor. I'm just a survivor.
You are a strong survivor and I admire you, pal.
But I kept
Yes,
the child that I
100%,
had
yes.
to my dad. I kept it. And now she's a 32-year-old girl planning a wedding, and she's beautiful. I've been out with her tonight. And
Oh.
I do have another daughter and my 3 grandchildren. And you know what? Fuck the dickheads. Because they said I wasn't worth anything. But you know what? All those girls stand strong together. And I've told them, don't ever, ever be like Nanny. And you know what my grandchildren said? We love you, Nanny. We love you. We want to be like you. Don't ever be like me. Don't ever. Because I smile to them. But when I'm in my own home, I cry. I'm so terrified. And I'm locked in. I'm agoraphobic. I've never been to a beach. I've never been on holiday. I don't have a passport.
Oh, love, calm down, calm down.
I am drowning.
Just talk to me now. Talk to me now. It's just me and you talking, alright? Ronan, could you maybe mute the rest of them now so that I can help this lady?
Yes, of course, yeah.
I'm drowning. And do you know what?
Pal,
You guys that are
use your
trying to
ears here.
speak,
Use your ears. Yeah. I'm getting
you
lagged here.
guys are speaking out for. I refuse to say the V word because I'm not. I'm a
Can't really say
survivor.
Yeah. You're a survivor. I am a survivor. My wife is a survivor. And we will always survive and we will always be strong. So never you ever sit crying. If you ever need anybody to talk to, you just contact Sojock on Facebook.
Thank
Okay?
you.
Okay, and just please calm down, pal. You're alright. You know what I mean?
I'm fine. I'm just.
I'm
It's
sending
crazy
bits
to
of hugs to
see.
you. I'm
It's
sending bits
crazy to
of hugs.
see men speaking out for people that are broken. You
Yeah, well,
know, you can get a vase and you can get
you're
super
not
glue.
broken. You're not broken. You're a diamond.
You can get a vase and you can get super glue and stick it together and you
Yeah.
can put a brave face on.
Yeah, but it all comes back at night, you know? And that's what these people don't realise. And that's why I'm asking Stephen to apologise to you.
Sorry, I just wanted to come on.
No, don't be sorry.
Tracy, sorry, Jock. Sorry, can I just say something? I wanted to just let you speak, Tracy. I didn't want to interrupt you, but listen, you're very, very brave to come on and say that. And you know, listen, we're always here for you. So contact Soja, contact me, contact anybody that you need to speak to. You're not alone.
It will be 100% confidential because
Do you know what?
area.
Do you know what? I've had millions of birthday presents right today and loads of flowers. And this is the best birthday present because do you know what I see? I see men speaking out for us girls.
Here, pal. Don't you worry. Put a smile on for
Happy
me.
birthday, Tracy. You can contact me also. I'll send you my number.
Yes, do contact Maria. She's a very nice person. I speak
Thank
to her
you, darling.
personally, and she will give you great advice, and she'll be a great friend.
Thank you.
Yep.
But I'm not going to stay on and interrupt
No,
your
you're
chat.
going
I
to
just
be
want
best.
to.
If you're emotional, come into the chat and just say, and I'll notice it, and I'll just.
Tracy, go in the chat and I'll put my telephone number in there for you.
That's the one. Well done, pal.
Thanks, beautiful.
You're welcome.
But you know what? Big up you guys. You know.
Listen, thank you for coming on, Tracy. Thank you very much for coming on. You're a very brave woman.
Happy birthday, Tracy. Stay strong, pal.
You know what? You guys have given me the best birthday present ever because I feel like I can release it. Because I've never, in 52 years, heard men speaking for the broken ones. Because we are.
Broken.
We're always, we are broken. Don't lie and don't kid yourself. I know because I'm feeling it. But do you know what? I'm sorry I'm crying, but
it's okay, Tracy.
It's a massive release.
Oh, that's a good thing then, pal, isn't it?
To see men speaking out for us when you're terrified of them.
Yeah.
It's like, it's strange.
Yeah. And we do all our checks. I've got qualifications up to my eyes to help you, you know. So, and my wife is also highly qualified.
Yeah.
So don't you worry about anything you've done tonight. You've not done nothing wrong. And you've
Thank you, darling.
And I'm so proud of you. And a great weekend. And have many, many happy returns. If I had your address, I would send you a big cake tomorrow, mate.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome on anytime, Tracy.
Thanks a lot.
Speak about whatever you want.
Big up for speaking out for us.
It's no problem.
I'll always stand up for you now. If you give me your name, if you're on YouTube, I'll always protect your back if any bad ones come around.
Tracy Whittle, that's my name. I'm on YouTube. It's
What is
my
it?
real name.
Oh, you're
it's my
using
birthday today.
You're using Tracy. So you're Tracy on YouTube.
100%. Tracy Whittle, that's my name. I don't lie. I've never told lies.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, you'll see. I'll talk to you when you're on one day and we'll have a wee laugh together, eh, mate?
All right, darling.
Thank you.
All right, big love, everybody.
Big love to you. Big love.
Take care, Tracy. Go in the chat there. You can get my number.
I will do, sweetie. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Tracy.
Bye.
Bye.
All the best.
Well, that was a bit of reality for everybody. Just and Tracy's very, very brave to come on and say what you said. So listen, much respect to Tracy, and she got a lot of love in the chat. And listen, there's always support for people that need it. Always. So
no, question now, and the reasons why I'm asking it now that we know them. You've just seen a broken person there, Steve. Right, and what if there was another one that you'd called a £30 a day there, and you've not apologised to that individual? I don't think he hears me, mate.
Oh, did I mute him? Sorry, did I? Sorry.
Oh.
Apologies.
All right, sorry about that. Are you still back?
That's him now.
Hello.
Hi, Steve. The reason
Ronan, can you repeat what Jock said, please? The audio's a bit...
No problem, mate. No problem. Basically, I'm asking you to do that because what if that was a lady that was just on the bottom of the screen there that you called a £30 a day whore? Do you not owe that single one person an apology, no?
Now, Tracy's a very strong lady.
But maybe the person that you called, i.e. AJ, maybe the person that you called a £30
AJ,
whore.
I apologise for anything and everything that I've said.
Will you lay off on the...
That has ever belittled you or made you feel bad. That apology comes from the bottom of my heart. I do apologise.
Okay, mate. I'm hoping she's hearing this. If not, I've recorded it anyway, you know that. I record every single thing I watch, and that's what YouTubers don't really realise. I'll sit and watch them back. So, on you go with the chat. Sorry, Ronan.
Yeah, you're fine. So, Jack, you're 100% fine. You've had your say. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, but if you don't mind, I'll sit here in case anything.
Yeah, of course. I think that's Big Tony Burkett. Is that you in the chat?
Yes.
What's the crack?
All right, Tony.
Easy. You all right?
Yeah, mate. Try to help
Hear me,
victims, as you call them, but I call them survivors.
Can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect, mate. You have your say. You say whatever you need to say.
Clark, what you got to say to me?
I don't know what do you want to hear from me?
What you got to say to me?
I've got nothing to say to you, Tony.
You targeted
It's been backwards and forwards between the pair of us, right? We've both said things and done things to each other that maybe we regret with what we've done.
I stuck up for a man thinking he was decent. So I didn't troll people and carry on with people. I just stuck up for him. That's a big difference. Isn't it?
Ronan, can you mute me? My phone's ringing.
So the end of the day, Tony, right? I've got nothing against you. I ain't got nothing against anybody at the moment. I mean, I've spent enough time, right, off of YouTube to concentrate on my family. I don't know if I will be back on YouTube with the channel. I don't know. And you know, you was probably in the same boat that I was.
Channels.
You were probably in the same boat that I was, sticking up for a certain individual.
Do what you did. I stuck up for him. I didn't do all you did. I just stuck up for him for people that were targeting him. That's a big difference. Then I found out what it was and got rid of him straight away. Then he lied to the police, had me locked up, and blah 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 blah. And then he just gets loads of people to do his dirty work. Maybe
it took me a little bit longer to realise that, you know, I shouldn't be sticking up for anybody to the extent that I don't really know. You know, but I came to the senses and realised that, you know, my life and my missus is worth more.
Can I ask you a question, Steve?
Go on.
What did you say there? Your family mean everything to you, yeah? Yeah?
Always will. Well, can't you hear me,
so if I say something to you, then if your family mean everything to you, you'd stop what you're doing, won't you?
Tony, I was targeted to the extent, right, in December, right, I made a promise to somebody.
Yeah, you don't listen. If listen, this is how it is.
And I found out the reason why right? The reason why is because, you know, to the extent I was defending Decky, yeah. But then it came to the point where I said to myself, if he ain't willing to defend himself, then, you know, you can help someone so much. But then when they're not willing to help themselves, they're you know, they're undefendable. All the simple thing I was asking, right, was for an ACRO, a full ACRO to be placed up.
So, if you say, I've said it all this week on my channel, if you carry on with people, yeah, online, so just listen to me out. If you carry on with people online, yeah, while you've got kids at home and a woman, and you target people or carry on with people, and if people do stuff back to you, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it? If you're causing trouble with people.
For sticking up for somebody that I didn't know. I should have done my due diligence and realised it.
No, forget about that. Let's just say something online. If you're carrying on with people online, like threatening them, anything, threatening them, carrying on with them, if that happens to you or anyone who does that stuff, it's their fault, innit? It's your own fault, innit? If you carry on with people online, do you know what I mean?
I mean,
it is, isn't it?
I'm not a fool to realise every action causes a reaction.
Yeah. There you go. You bang on there. You bang on.
Right. You know, my mum didn't born me a fool. I mean, I also understand like every action causes a reaction, and this is the reaction I get now because of this reaction. And I had like my close friends put it to me in December. That's when I stood back and realised, hold on a minute, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be defending somebody that's been accused of something like that. I'm worth more in my life. I don't know. I couldn't see that, Ronan.
Sorry. Just
let me say two things to you, Steve. I'm
being
nice.
I'm just showing in the chat here that I have to show messages. There's some messages that YouTube won't allow me to show. So if people think that I'm censoring them, I'm blocking them. I'm not. YouTube censors comments, right? So there's a comment, look, that I can show. I'm going to show it now. Look, it's from Jojo, and I've just shown it. So if people think that I'm blocking them, I'm not. Sorry, go ahead.
I know that. YouTube thingy up. Steve.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Can you hear me?
Go on.
I was given your address. I won't lie. By your best mate.
Yeah, I know that. I understand that. Right now,
listen.
Now, my point, no matter what, even to John, I'll say it to you, to the extent, you know, why do you want to get somebody's address? I mean, that my address is easy to get hold of. You know, down to the point, every one of us, you know, can get found out where we are.
Someone comes to your address. Yeah,
I've had
all the main people's addresses on here on my kids' may they die. I'm not joking. May they die. I've not come to threaten anyone, but I've been given all the main people's addresses. That's not to do out, but if you carry on online, you expect what you get, don't you? I do not carry on with people online because it's weird. Do you know what I mean? I don't carry on with them. I just like. I'm a straight talker and I'm a raj cunt, but all the main players, which you'll know all the main players, I've got every one of them addresses. May my mother turn in her grave. I do not lie. So you just don't carry on with people online, do you? You ring them up and you say, listen, crank, I've got a problem with you. Do you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. You don't go on videos like targeting kids and women and all that shit, innit? And if anyone wants me to prove I've got everyone's address, just message me and I'll show you your fucking address. That's the main people, though. You know what I mean? There's no threats. There's no whatever. I've just got all your addresses in case you carry on. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest with you.
Jackie Saunders has just got a question out, I've realised. She said to me, right, that at some point I said to Decker he didn't need to show his ACRO. Ronan, have you seen that question from what was the name I just said, Joe? Joanne Saunders have just said that at a point I said that Decker didn't have to show his ACRO. Now, I remember behind the scenes, right,
Listen,
I've
no
been
one
saying
needs to
to
see
Decker, you need to put
from
your
the law.
ACRO up. You need to show to me and to the world your ACRO. But Joanne Saunders is claiming that I said that he didn't have to show it. Now, I think that's the total opposite of what I've ever said.
Right. So somebody wrote, can you tell 23-inch legs that Rhonda deserves? And oh, it's what do you mean? Why are they calling? Who are they calling 23-inch legs? I didn't mean to say that. If that is a dig at somebody there, I didn't mean if that was a dig at somebody. I'd apologize. I just read that out as
Who's 23-inch legs? Because I've measured my legs, and the last time I measured them, they were 35.
Right. I didn't mean to say that. I apologize if that was a dig at somebody.
23 is a little bit too short.
I thought they were talking about somebody else because I don't know none of that fucking shit that you talk about each other. But listen, it says Rhonda deserves an apology, please. Do you think Rhonda deserves an apology?
I've made 4 apologies to people. I mean, I've personally apologised individually to AJ as well. Also, Rhonda Briggs, I apologise for whatever I've said or whatever I've done in the past. I mean, I do mean my apologies. It ain't just words. So,
yeah. Well, I think, listen, there's not much more you can say. There's not much more you can do. Just moving forward, it's just about becoming a better person and just realizing your wrongs. Everybody's been wrong in their life. Everybody's been. Listen, I'm not going to have a fucking Dr. Phil moment here. You know what to do, mate. You know what to do. Just about, I think you've laid everything out in the open there. Everything's out, and tomorrow will be a better day. Do you get what I'm saying?
I mean, at the end of the day, I've admitted that the way I went about things, and even to get involved to defend somebody that I didn't really know without doing full due diligence on their background, is totally out of character for me. I was wrong for doing that. I mean, you study defend people to the extent is your own family. Like I say, I came to my senses in December. That's why I've stayed off of YouTube and concentrated on my family, which is
You took a battering tonight, mate. You took a battering tonight, and I had to take a fucking battering. But like, listen. A battering's a good thing. Sometimes a good beating's a good thing, right? And that sounds really bad, but sometimes you need to take a battering to realize you're fucking arse from your elbow. And look, take it in the chin. Moving forward, just what anybody's accusing you of, right? The only way you can prove them wrong is to not do what they're accusing you of. That's simple as that. I'm not saying that you are doing those things, but just don't do them things. And then in time, that'll fizzle out and it'll gain no traction. Do you get what I'm saying?
Basically, I just wanted to tell people, I don't defend people like that. I'm not going to defend anybody like that.
Yeah.
I mean, no communication with anybody like that. And yeah. I think the lesson that I've learned, I'm a loyal person, as some people might have realised, for the extent that I defended an individual where I shouldn't. I've spent my time defending an individual. I should have spent that time positively with my own family.
Can I just state too? I do not. I just need to state this, Steve. I need to state this, guys. There was a fake Paul Ellis account in the chat. Paul has texted me saying he's not coming back into the chat. So any Paul Ellis that comes in here, just block them. And if you block the real Paul Ellis, it doesn't really fucking matter, because then I'll just unblock him, the real one. There's a few that's came in that's targeted Paul, said a couple of things about his family. So just block any Paul Ellis. I think I've got 2 mods. I don't even want mods, but if there's somebody being targeted with their family, with information and things like that, then just block those, please, because I don't want any of that. But my live chat, I put it up. This is an adult channel, and I do feel like adults should be able to moderate themselves. But when it comes to information being published about people's family and stuff like that, block those channels. Just block those channels. So I just wanted to state that. And I don't censor any comments. YouTube does that itself. Okay. Just wanted to say that. Guys, is there anything else you want to say? Because I'm going to end this stream now. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that you know, Steve was in a hole, and I think he's come some way out of it. I think there's still some way to go, because a lot of people are still going to be angry, but just keep trying to do what you're doing, and don't really don't start using false accounts to troll people, because you get found out in the end, and it'll just you just be digging yourself back into another hole. What you've done tonight is you've covered some issues for people. I don't think all issues were covered and everything was settled, but you've gone some way towards it. So
it goes a long way, Steve. It goes a long way. It gets better, mate. It gets better. Do you know what I mean? This will subside and the hate will go away at some stage. It just you just have to hit it head on. Don't deflect from it. Just hit it head on, and that's it. That's it. And I think you've done that tonight. So, is there anything else you want to say, Steve?
Not that I've already covered. I mean, once again, I would like to apologise to everybody that I've ever wronged during the process of sticking up for Dickie. I've learned a valid reason from it. I've understood that I've had my reason for not being involved anymore, and I've understood and taken on board. Maybe next time, if there won't be a next time. The only other thing I would like to say that I don't think I have said is I'd like to big up each and every sort of survivor of female that's had to tolerate the likes of men that has physically, mentally abused them. No woman should ever have to go through that in any part, shape, or form in their life. It's just a shame, for the men that feel that they need to treat women like that. That's fucking wrong.
It's called narcissistic sociopath state.
Men
Narcissistic
like that should not even be on the earth. Be it. It would never cross my mind to ever treat a female in that manner, and that's what's led me again to apologise if I've treated any female while defending somebody like that. That's out of character for me, and I do hope one day you will accept the apologies that I do send out there. Again, for Tracy, when Tracy come on, I mean that hit me hard. That did.
Right. It was gonna. It's so
in front of men, Ian. I think that hit home.
Just to say to the honest truth, I'm about to end the live stream, mate. But because I have to go, I'm up early in the morning. But you were more than welcome to jump on tonight. But no, by any stretch of the imagination, I'm not letting you on. I just actually need to end the live stream now. But guys, listen. It was great to have you on, Steve. That done wonders for you, mate. Thank you. What's your channel's name again? There's been so much information said. I keep forgetting channel names.
Outdoor Thing.
Outdoor Thing. Go and subscribe to Outdoor Thing. Anthony Burkett came on. So yes, big up to Anthony Burkett. Big up to Steve. Big up to Outdoor Thing. Humble. Everybody that's came on that's had their say. Listen, there's redemption. Just it's logical. Just do the logical thing, and that's it. Peace, guys. Have a good night.